Welcome back to the Awesome Possum Classroom, boys and girls. Today we are going to discuss the plot of the story Fourth Grade Rats, written by Jerry Spinelli. Is plot? Well, plot is a series of events that make up a story. Plots have five main parts that always take place in the same order. The beginning, where the exposition or setting and characters are introduced. The rising action, the climax, the most exciting part, the falling action, and the resolution. Let's take a look at how plot is developed using this graphic organizer. We start with the exposition. It provides information about the characters in the setting. As we go up the graphic organizer, we come to the rising action. This introduces and develops the conflict or the main problem faced by the characters. At the top of the graphic organizer, we come to the climax. This is the most exciting part of the story. It's a turning point of the story, boys and girls. We go down the graphic organizer and we come to the falling action. And it shows how the characters solved the problem. And finally, at the end, we come to the resolution. And this shows how things end up in the story. Remember, boys and girls, a plot has to go in order. Exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Hey, boys and girls, I want you to look at this worksheet. This is an example of a worksheet that you could use to write your plot on. I want you to notice that there's not a lot of room for writing. So you have to be very careful about what you write when you're writing a plot. Now, a plot is not a retell. When you retell a story, you give a lot of specific details and information. A plot is more like a story summary, and summaries are much shorter than retells. So when you write your exposition, just get right to the point. Who are the characters? Where is the setting? And you might be able to tell the basic plot. All right? And you're going to see this in fourth grade rats when we go to the next slide of fourth grade rats, how very detailed it was, but short. The rising action are the things that happen to push the story forward as we head towards the climax. Now, to have a successful rising action, it's important that the challenges the characters face are increasingly complex and that they raise the stakes of the story as the plot builds. All right? You want important problems in the story. When we go to the climax, remember that's the emotional part of the story where your heart is thumping and you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, why did that happen? Then we come to the falling action, and these are the events that happen right after the climax. So the main climatic moment has already occurred, which means that all of those scenes that follow are part of the following action. A story's falling action is the action that occurs immediately after the big climax has taken place and the action shifts towards the resolution instead of escalation in the story. And finally, we come to the conclusion of the story. So now let's use fourth grade rats to write a plot. Now, this is just one example of a plot. You might have a few things a little bit different than mine, but I bet it's basically going to be about the same. So if we start at the exposition, I would start with, on the first day of fourth grade, who does what to who? All right. If I start it that way, I'll have the characters, I'll have the setting, 4th grade, and I'm going to have the basic plot. The rising action, I would give an example or two of how Joey tries to change Suds. For the climax is really easy in 4th grade Rats. Where does Suds snap? Where does he just finally say, I've had enough? Our falling action, I put the scene with Suds and Judy and the cat. What happens there? And then finally, for the conclusion, Suds and his mom talk. My example of a plot for 4th grade Rats. Now, yours might be a little bit different, but I bet it's going to be basically the same. So, I started with the exposition. Joey and Suds are in 4th grade. Joey tries to convince Suds to become a 4th grade rat. I have the two characters, I have the setting in 4th grade, and I have the basic plot. Suds is trying to convince Joey is trying to convince Suds to become a 4th grade rat. Now, when we go to our rising action, I give an example of how Joey tries to change Suds. Well, Joey trains Suds to become a rat, how to trash a room, not to be scared of spiders, and how to say no to your mom. Now, we go to the climax. This is when Suds snaps. What part of the story did Suds finally say, I've had enough? Well, Zipper Nose lays a mousetrap in Suds' bed and it snaps his toe. Remember that? He decides to become a rat because he's so angry, and he finally tells his mother no. And he also let a spider crawl on him. All right, the falling action. I chose Suds and Judy scene. Suds tries to help Judy get her cat down from a tree. Suds gets scared and Judy leaves him up in the tree. And remember, his mother had to come and get him down. You could have chosen another part. Another falling action could have been when Joey and his mom come over and tell Suds and his mom what Joey had been doing. Okay, you could have had that as your falling action too. All right, so finally the conclusion, Suds and his mom talk. Suds finally confesses to his mom. Suds tells his mom that Joey had a part in his behavior, but he went a little crazy over Judy. So that's kind of what a plot would look like for 4th grade Rats. In this video, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Awesome Possum Classroom 451. Come back for another video and another lesson. Have a great day.